Greetings to all. Today's my topic is The Mountain Man. Dashrath Manjhi was born in 1934 in a poor laborer's family in Gahalor village who was popularly known as the Mountain Man. Gahalor village was near Gaya in Bihar, India. He was the legend who proved that nothing is impossible to achieve. His life gives a moral lesson that a small man who has no money and no power can challenge a mighty mountain. Gahalor is a remote and backward village where caste system prevails. People belonging to backward castes are ill-treated by the village's Mukhya or the leader who was extremely corrupt. Women are considered as a mere object by the powerful people of the village. Development was nowhere near for them. Dalits are not even allowed to look into the eyes of the village Mukhya. If they dare, they are brutally beaten. Poor villages have to travel across through a narrow and treacherous path to cross a huge mountain located between Athari and Wazirganj blocks in Gaya district for their daily needs and for transport connectivity. In 1956, Manjhi was married off in his childhood. As a grown-up man, when he returned to his village, after working in Dhanbad coal mines, Jharkhand for several years, he fell madly in love with a village girl, Falguni Devi. To his surprise, that girl turned out to be the childhood bride whom he left behind few years ago. But her father denied to send Falguni Devi with Dashrath as he was jobless. But Dashrath was firm to bring Falguni back into his life and both eloped. They started living as husband and wife. Falguni gave birth to a baby boy. In 1960, she again became pregnant. The people of Musahar settlement in Gahalor, where Manjhi and his family lived, had to trek up and down the mountain for 75 odd kilometers to get to basic facilities such as hospitals, schools, water supply, etc. Manjhi would climb the mountain every day to work in the fields of a landlord on the other side of the mountain to feed his family. His wife would bring him his lunch in the afternoons, trekking up the side of the treacherous mountain. One day, Falguni, who was heavily pregnant, was taking lunch for her husband to the fields, for which she needed to climb the mountain in the scorching heat. Unfortunately, Falguni's foot got slipped and she fell down from the mountain while hungry Dashrath was waiting for the food. Then someone from the village alerted Dashrath that his wife has fallen down from the mountain. Dashrath runs into panic and took his blood-splattered wife to the nearest hospital that was 70 kilometers away. Even though she gave birth to a baby girl, she was died. The tale of revenge begins here. The heartbroken Manjhi, who loved his wife more than anything else in the world, he began cursing the huge mountain and vowed to bring it down to break its ego. In the memory of his beloved wife, determined, Manjhi took a hammer and a chisel and embarked on a tough and almost impossible mission. He decided to carve out a path so that no other person suffers like his wife, and with his goal of getting quick medical assistance for all, he started his task. Villagers and even his father ridiculed him for challenging a huge mountain, but Manjhi was adamant on his firm decision. A local journalist caught his attention and approached him why he was hell-bent on cutting the mountain. Years passed on, during which Gahalor was hit by a massive drought and villagers evacuated the village. Dashrath's father taunted him that what he had achieved in the last so many years. He tried to convince Dashrath to accompany them to the city where he could earn bread for his two children. But Dashrath decided to continue on his Herculean task. With no water and no food, Dashrath was forced to drink dirty water and eat leaves. In 1975, the country plunged into darkness due to emergency declared by the Indira Gandhi-led government. She went to Bihar to address a rally where Dashrath also reached. The stage where Indra was addressing a crowded rally came crashing down. Swiftly, Manji, along with other villagers, bore the burden of fallen stage so that Indra could continue her speech. When the rally got over, Manji somehow managed to get a picture clicked with Indira Gandhi. The greedy Mukhia thought that now Dashrath is little known in front of the PM. He lured Dashrath that if he gives his thumbprint, then they would be able to get funds from the government for the construction of road from the mountain side. But poor Dashrath was cheated by him, and he declared to complaint against him to the PM. Dashrath also tried to reach the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to apprise her of the widespread corruption in Bihar. He walked from Gaya to Delhi as he could not afford a train ticket. When Dashrath finally reached Delhi, along with his photograph with Indira Gandhi, he was rudely turned away by a police official who not only mocked him but also tore the photograph and lathi charged him at Rajpath. Humiliated, Dashrath returns back to tame the mountain. With all of his hopes shattered, Dashrath, who had grew very old by then, felt that he was failed and his efforts have not yielded any positive results. Dashrath's perseverance and his devotion attracted the attention of the media, and he started to receiving help from fellow villagers who once openly laughed at him. But that too was marred by some local officials who threatened Dashrath and the villagers not to be present around the mountain. Then even got him arrested. But the journalist appeared to be a savior for him and lodged a protest in front of a police station to release Dashrath. Dashrath's efforts yield positive results. Dashrath single-handedly carved out a 360 feet long, 30 feet high, 30 feet wide passage through the mountain, made the difference into the lives of the villagers by shortening the distance into 15 kilometers. Finally, in 1982, Manji's 22 years of toil and labor brought a new morning. His long-cherished wish of digging his way through the hill was fulfilled when the government roped in to make the road by carving the mountain. His name was also proposed by the Bihar government for the Padma Shri Award in 2006. 2007, poor man's Shah Jahan leaves the world silently on August 17, 2007. Manji passed away at All India Institute of Medical Science due to gallbladder cancer at the age of 73. Bihar government had accorded state funeral to him. Before dying, Manji had given his thumb impression on an agreement and gave away exclusive rights to make a biopic on his life. Manji's firm determination to carve the huge mountain gives out a strong message that every hurdle can be crossed if one has kept a firm eye on his goal. His 22 years of hard work became a success, as the road constructed by him is now used by the villagers, so now the deaths due to delay in reaching the hospitals is avoided. Dashrath Manji, the mountain man who drilled the mountain, is the perfect example of love's existence. Love never dies, whereas lovers die. Yes, this is sad, but it is true for sure. Yes, lovers can die, but their love lives for centuries. Love does not ask you to show the world that you love someone. Love never demands. Love is peace. One day, beautiful faces have wrinkles. Muscular bodies will grow old and become weak. People will change the way they think about you and others. Only thing that remains the same is its love. Love is endless. It will never become old and weak. Love does not depend on beauty, but beauty depends on love. It does not matter if you are not pretty and attractive, but if someone loves you, then you are the most attractive one for that person. 2 hands, 1 hammer, 1 chisel, and a strong belief, with the support of his immortal love, made him the strongest person who ever lived. Love is not what we see, it is something that feels. We talk about love and relationships. Most of them do not last for a long time. That is not love. Love does not end, but the attraction does. To honor his achievements, a hospital in his name is also proposed for serving the villagers. This is an inspirational story of a common man, an inspiring story of Dashrath Manjhi, which gives us a moral. Take one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. After 22 years of working relentlessly from 1960 to 1982, he made the impossible possible. This path decreased the distance between Athari and Wazirganj to 15 kilometers. Coming out of its apathy in 2011, the government of Bihar named the road as Dashrath Manjhi Path. Dashrath Manjhi's single-minded dedication and passion earned him the name the Mountain Man of India. In 2011, a documentary, The Man Who Moved the Mountain, based on Dashrath's life, was released. Manjhi the Mountain Man, a Bollywood movie, was released in August 2015. Based on Dashrath Manjhi's life, 2 Kannada movies were made. On 26 December 2016, a stamp was released featuring Dashrath Manjhi by India Post in the Personalities of Bihar series. So I feel we need not to have a rich background to serve the society. What we need is a great heart to serve. Holding on to your dream, even in hopeless situations, is what you learn from this common man from India. It is about the consistency of the journey and the struggle of the man who dedicated his entire life to break a mountain, to avenge the death of his wife, whom he profoundly loved. Nowhere in world history has a similar story been seen, where a man, through the sheer power of his grit and determination, challenged the mighty mountain in the name of love. Taj Mahal remains the crown jewel of India, but at the same time, stories like those of Dashrath Manjhi must be recorded, remembered, and respected by the authors of history. Thank you for listening to me. See you with another video.